will take us higher, higher. Don't you know you're radiant like the sun? We can feel your fire, fire. Don't you know you're radiant like the sun? He will take us higher, higher. You're radiant. Oh, 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 oh,
January 31st, 2023. The time is 9:37 a.m. I call to order the regular meeting of the Birmingham City Council. Today we'll have the invocation led by Reverend Emily Freeman Penfield, pastor of Woodlawn United Methodist Church, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilor Tate. Would you do us the honors? Councilor Latanya Tate, would you please stand if you're willing and able? Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation to be here. May we pray. O divine life, our creator of all people, we thank you for this day. We thank you for these council people and our mayor and all their staffs. We thank you for all who work together for good in Birmingham. Today, we pray for Memphis. We pray for the too many communities that have been rocked by mass shootings this month. We pray for the too many parents who are mourning their children lost to gun violence. We pray for Birmingham's children, our teachers, and school faculties. Help us, God, to work together for justice, that justice may be the trademark of our city. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend Penfield, for that prayer, and we thank you for mentioning our prayers for the family of Tyree Nichols, as well as for the city of Memphis. If you would notice that our counselors, we are all adorned in red ribbons this morning. So I'd like to just take a few minutes, if you would allow us, to just have a moment of prayer in solidarity for the Nichols family and the city of Memphis. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, if you call the roll.
Yeah. Councilmember Abbott. Councilmember Clark. Present. Councilmember Moore.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Councilmember O'Quinn. Good morning. Good morning. Councilmember Tate. Good morning. Councilmember Williams. Good morning. Councilmember Woods. President Pro Tem Smitherman. Council President Alexander.
Present here. Good morning. Councilors, the minutes are not ready for October 3rd, 2022 through January 24th, 2023. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Madam President. I apologize, Madam President, and to the council. Good morning to each of you. And good morning to the public, and it's good to see everybody. A few notes. The first one is my BHAM 311 app. Again, that's my BHAM 311 app. We're excited for the launch of this. The City of Birmingham has expanded ways to report concerns in neighborhoods. Not only can residents continue to call 311 or submit feedback online, but we now have a app via My Birmingham 311 app. For details on the app, please visit birminghamal.gov/311. Again, that's birminghamal.gov/311. And Madam President and Council, as you know, it's the same pothole, but if you have three different generations, one may want to come down to City Hall, another may want to email or call, and another generation may simply want us to just have an app that they can submit that to. So I'm glad we got this additional tool. The Magic City Spotlight radio show has started back. We've been in 2 Saturdays, having the opportunity to present to the public via V94.9 all things going on in the city of Birmingham. We discuss events, programs, initiatives, and also shine a light on the special people and organizations in our community and city. And you can listen on the radio at 94.9 FM or download the V94.9 app and listen from your phone. You can also check out the Magic City Spotlight podcast on Spotify. Just a note, Madam President and Council, the neighborhood officer swearing-in ceremony. Birmingham's recently elected neighborhood officers will be sworn in today. That time is from 6 p.m. tonight to 7:30 at the Boutwell Auditorium. We are extremely, when I say we, the mayor and council, as well as all the city employees, we are extremely grateful for their servant leadership in helping to make our city a better place for all. As we continue to share information on the uniform trash bins, the second distribution of 20,000 uniform trash bins are expected to take place in the month of February. Those residents in this next batch will be notified via mail and with instructions. As a reminder for those residents already using the cart, you should place them in front of your homes, as well as any household garbage placed on the ground in alleys or on the ground in front of your residence will not be picked up. You can receive more updates by going to birminghamal.gov/pickup or by texting BHAM Ready to 888-777. A few more notes, Madam President and Council. As always, we will continue to amplify, encourage our community and citizens to engage in the Page Pals reading initiative, and more volunteers are sought for us to continue to build our army of volunteers who are reading to our third graders. Page Pals volunteers are needed to assist at the designated third grade library times through read aloud and conversation. Reading sessions will take place and continue to take place in 14 different Birmingham City School elementary schools across all 9 districts. For more information and for you to sign up, please visit bhamufirst.org/page-pals. Again, that's a mouthful, actually. bhamufirst.org/page-pals. We have a blood drive this in the month of February. The City of Birmingham will host a blood drive on Wednesday, February 22nd. So that's towards the end of the month. Again, that's February 22nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Boutwell Auditorium, and your blood donations are needed to help and definitely could save a life. Donors will also receive a $10 Amazon gift card and automatically be entered for a chance to win a trip for 2 to Clearwater Beach, Florida. Please sign up at the redcrossblood.org. Again, that's redcrossblood.org. One last note, Madam President and Council. The 60th commemoration, that is of the Birmingham Civil and Human Rights Movement of 1963. As we commemorate the 1963 Birmingham Civil Rights and Human Rights Movement all year long of 2023, the City of Birmingham will unveil a different theme poster each month to honor the different people and acts of heroism that took place in our city and community. January's poster features my personal hero and many others, and the Reverend Fred L. Shuttlesworth as he walked with his sons to integrate Phillips High School. It also includes a collage of young protesters from modern day who were inspired by him. It marries the past and the present as we look to the future, and you can find the image online at birminghamal.gov/forgingjustice. Again, that's birminghamal.gov/forgingjustice, and we will have free copies available here at City Hall. And just for the public to see, this is a copy of it. With that, Madam President and Council, that concludes the Mayor's report.
Thank you, Mayor Whitfin. I am glad that you announced the activities that will be part of the 60th commemoration of the Civil Rights Movement and the activities that took place in Birmingham. I was actually contacted by members of the National Black Caucus of local elected officials with National League of Cities, and they asked what was Birmingham doing. I'm like, surely you jest. Of course you know, we're on it. So I will definitely share that with them. So thank you very much. All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Clerk, would you give us the items that are considered for consent?
Okay. Consent agenda for today starts on page 2 with items 3 and 4. Page 3, we have items 5, 6, 7, and 8 on consent. Page 4, we have items 9, 10, and 11 on consent. Page 5, we have items 12 and 13 on consent. Page 6, items 15, 16, and 17 are on consent. Please note that on item number 15, first line, at the end, it should be fourth, not third. It should be the fourth amendment to the agreement. Page 7, we're going to remove items 18, 19, and 20 from consent. And on item 19, can you inform me of the information again?
Yes, District 7 will allocate $10,000 of ARPA fundings to this item to support Children's Village, which is located in District 7.
So will it make the total amount 35?
Yes, sir.
Page 8, I'm going to pick back up with the consent agenda with items 21, 22, 23, and 24. Please note on item number 22, second line, after United States Department of Homeland, we're going to add security FEMA assistance. And then that line will read basically a grant with the United States Department of Homeland Security FEMA assistance to firefighters. That's item 22. Page 9, we're going to add, they're already on consent, items 25, 26, 27, and 28. Page 10, items 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33 are on consent. And page 11, we end the consent agenda with items 34, 35, and 36.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Councilors, at this time, are there any items you'd like to add or remove from consent? Yes, Councilor Moore.
Yes, Madam President, I would like to remove item number 20.
Item number 20 on page, we've already removed that one. Thank you. Yes. Any other items? All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so requests. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. All matters of permanent operation will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. Councilors, can I entertain a motion in a second? Yes, ma'am, Councilor. Councilor Clark?
Thank you. I would like to remove item number 16.
That's okay. Let's go back to that.
Okay.
Item number 16, there's a request to remove that from consent. Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you.
Councilor Quinn.
Yes, I would like to remove item 17.
All right, that's item number 17, also on page 6, that's been removed from consent. Did you get those items?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and councilors, we still have the same motion before us with those items removed. Councilor
I have a question. Did we remove any other items during pre-council meeting?
No, we did not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, thank you, Councilor. All right, well,
I need a motion.
So move.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. That motion passes. Those items.
Oh, keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt. You were in the middle of
A motion passed. All items that were considered as consent have been approved. If you're here for any of those items that were listed as consent, they are approved. We hope you have a great day, and we'll continue with the rest of the agenda. Mr. Mayor, did you have something you wanted to bring up?
You're welcome.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Madam President, I apologize for interrupting, but I did want to sincerely thank each of you, and thank you for being in a position to support our employees, support our community, and support some infrastructure, all things that are needed in our community. So to each of you, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, councilors. I think you can see by our vote that we're very happy to support these items for our community as well as for our residents and our employees as well. So thank you for bringing those items to our consideration. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, first item.
Okay, item 1, an ordinance to further amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham, case number CAC 2022-14, to change zone district boundaries from B2 General Business District to QMUH, qualified mixed-use high district, filed by C. Randall Minor, Maynard Cooper and Gale, applicant representing the owner, 22nd Street Partners LLC, for properties located at 2230 Highland Avenue South, 2174 11th Court South, and 1128 22nd Street South, and situated in the northwest quarter, Section 6, Township 18 South, Range 2 West, and hearing of all parties. Motion, please.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, thank you. I will turn this particular portion of the meeting over to our zoning chair, Councilor Abbott.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Gambrell, will you read our case for us, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Tim Gambrell, I serve as Chief Planner for the City of Birmingham. This is case ZAC 2022-14, is located in the 5 Points South neighborhood. The proposed use is a 272-unit luxury multifamily apartment development and a 373-space accessory parking garage. The applicant would like to rezone 2230 Highland Avenue South, 2174 11th Court South, and 1128 22nd Street South to mixed-use high and vacate the alley running between them to construct 272-unit luxury multifamily apartment development and a 373-space accessory parking garage. The proposed development will be approximately 68 feet in height and have indoor amenities, an outdoor pool, and an outdoor courtyard for residents. The subject property sits on 2.59 acres of land, currently all Zone B2 general business. Abutting the subject properties to the east, west, and south are parcels that are also Zone B2. To the north of the properties are offices Zone B1.
Thank you, Mr. Gambrell. This is... Oh, are you not
No,
finished?
I wasn't finished. Sorry. The long-range land use plan identifies the property as mixed-use high district. The mixed-use high district is designated to accommodate medium, high-density office, residential retail, artisanal industry, small warehouse that may be characterized as light industry that do not have any noise, odor, illumination, trucking, or other adverse impacts on adjacent land uses. This particular development parking requirement is a total of 319 spaces. They're actually providing 373. So the site plan shows 373 parking spaces in a parking garage. That site plan is overparked by 54 spaces. However, when spaces in excess of the maximum are covered by a structure, then we don't count those against them. So this site plan meet the parking requirement. The landscape plan provided has been approved by the city's landscape architect. The city's stormwater engineer has approved this project for construction with all stormwater flood and soil erosion ordinances applying. The Birmingham Department of Transportation did not have any comments. The 5 Points Neighborhood Association met at a regular scheduled meeting on November 15, 2022 to review the proposed project and voted to unanimously approve. The neighborhood would like queue conditions. There are several queue conditions, primarily to limit the height to 75 feet and then limit a number of uses, as many as I think 74. The Zoning Advisory Committee met at a regular scheduled meeting on December 6, 2022 to review the proposed project and voted to approve the request to the Planning and Zoning Committee. That vote was 6-1 with the same queue conditions, the limit on height, and then up to 74 uses that would not be allowed. And then the Planning and Zoning Committee met at a regular scheduled meeting on December 14, 2022 and voted to recommend the rezoning request to the full City Council with the same queue conditions. And that concludes the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gambrell. This is a public hearing. Is the applicant here?
Good morning, Randall Minor, land use attorney at Manor, Cooper & Gale, 1901 6th Avenue North, Birmingham, Alabama. Here on behalf of the applicant, happy to answer any questions but I thought Mr. Gambrell did a great job of outlining the application and the support that we've received so far.
Okay, so did you bring the drawings and all of the presentation materials?
I did not, sorry about that.
For the council to review?
I did not. I thought you had packets.
Well, normally people bring boards and put them up so that everyone can see them, including the public who would like to see them. And so I just was asking because that's normal, but not today. So I assume that all the council members have looked at their iPads or emails or whatever.
Just to note, all the councilors do have that information that was included in our packet. Thank you. Yes.
But it is still nice to provide it to the public so they can see what we're talking about. So do members have any questions that they'd like to ask or comments? Yes, ma'am. Councilor Clark.
Thank you, Councilor Abbott. I guess this question is for staff about the stormwater impacts. I see all these things here, but I'm wondering, how do we ensure, because we've got some serious, stormwater issues over there,
right?
Especially down the hill. I know this area is already developed, and a lot of the surface is impervious already. Is this creating more impervious surfaces or not? Or how do we know that the post-construction runoff isn't more than the pre-construction runoff?
Right.
Who's regulating that?
Right.
And monitoring that?
We have a stormwater staff, and so they are required to submit applications to that stormwater staff to meet or to comply with our stormwater post-construction ordinance. And so, that would be, they would have a concept meeting, that's required, so that they can discuss prior to any submittal, kind of what would be required. This site's over an acre, so they will have to comply, I believe, with the ordinance. So we have a stormwater team, with administrators and inspectors and whatnot, and so they will have to demonstrate how they comply with the ordinance, and then they will have to make sure that system functions properly in the future. I know that there's a requirement that their stormwater facilities would have to have a management plan that would be approved by the stormwater folks, and so there's a fairly rigorous ordinance in place that deals with stormwater.
I get you on the rules. I'm just practically, how does somebody make sure?
Well, they will be doing inspections. I think maybe that's a question for them.
Okay.
I don't do that myself, but I do know there is a stormwater team, and we do have inspectors that inspect these facilities. They are required to provide management plans and demonstrate wherewithal to maintain them through bonding, I believe. But
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Quinn?
Yes. Mr. Minor, could you speak generally as to why your client is seeking the change in zoning and, why specifically mixed-use high versus mixed-use medium?
Yep. I think they're trying to anticipate what the will be adopted in the area. So the assumption is that the area will be mixed-use high in the future. So trying to be consistent with that. But specifically, and I've kind of had some offline conversations with this before, mixed-use high has the highest density allowed, and so that allows for this program to be implemented. So it's really the density permitted in mixed-use high. So if one of the other zoning districts had the same density, I think they would be open to that, but that's the reason.
So what specific aspects of the project as it's envisioned wouldn't be, allowed under mixed-use medium? Is it the number, the height of the building?
It's the number of units. So the height it's less than 75 feet. And so mixed-use medium, I don't have it memorized, but I think it allows, 85 feet maybe. So that's really what it is. I think there might be some other aspects that I'm not thinking of, but that's the main one. I'm kind of apples and oranges here, but the city I know is undergoing a parking study. You guys may. The city is undergoing a parking, looking at some. Hopefully, I'm not breaking news here, but they're looking at changing some of the parking requirements in some of the districts, and so I talked with some folks yesterday about it, and most of the mixed-use high applications that I submit, so that's usually 1 or 2 a year. It's usually for the density. So people are not necessarily trying to build taller buildings. They're just trying to have the density that makes sense for construction prices and market currently. So that's really what's driving a lot of what I see. Okay.
Next question is the intent here to truly make this a mixed-use building? The previous the previous tenants at that site provided a lot of services that residents in the area really made use of. So are any of those services going to be coming back to the site?
Yeah, so this site was the former Western site, so there was a lot of effort to pursue a grocery store tenant. I think they've owned this property now for at least 5 years, and the first 3 or 4 years of that was pursuing a grocery tenant. Unfortunately, they were not successful in that. The plan currently has opportunity for commercial retail, but not nearly what it is now. Obviously now there's zero residential. It is a shopping center. That's what it is now. The plan has a couple of bays that could be commercial, but they also could be office for the residential units, coffee shop, something like that. But there's not been any success, unfortunately, in getting a grocery store tenant. And so that was what they spent the first 3 years of development trying to pursue.
Okay. My next question is for Mr. Gambrell. So, of course, 22nd Street is a major artery for a lot of folks who commute from downtown. It's a means of egress for, particularly for folks who are over the mountain but work in the city center. Can you speak to some of the potential traffic impacts at that intersection?
Not really. I mean, I do know that the report includes a report from Birmingham Department of Transportation, and I don't believe that they had any concerns or issues. I would direct that question to BDOT.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions or comments?
I have a question, and this is for Mr. Gambrell. Mr. Gambrell, I just wanted to be sure you clarify for us the question earlier about the mixed density or the high density, and that this was really being used from an expert. This would allow the increased number of units or the height of the building. I just want to be sure I'm clear on it.
Yeah, I believe it would be both the density and the height of the building. Also, for us, obviously, we feel it needs to be a mixed-use district because that's going to draw the building closer to the street edge and kind of create the urban form that we want. So it definitely needs to be a mixed-use district. We did, assign this mixed-use high as part of our proposed future land use plan amendment for the south side. And I mean, we feel that that's the appropriate designation at that location.
All right, thank you. And it also notes that the neighborhood, I believe they voted unanimously on this presentation.
Let's double check that. I thought it said 6-1. I mean, it's in the report.
Yes, I thought I saw it unanimous. With the
Oh, no,
two
they did
conditions.
vote unanimously to approve.
Yes, with those few conditions. And so, just for the consumption of the public, this was presented with all the materials so that the neighbors could have a good view of what you were.
Yes, and my apologies. I tend not to bring the boards when it's raining, but that I will do better next time. But we did present for the neighborhood, before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then also the Planning Commission, ZAC, the Planning Commission, and then also from the Planning and Zoning Committee of the City Council. We had boards available, and my office is only 2 blocks away, so if I can run and get boards if people want to see me afterwards to get a picture of what this development looks like. But we did present, and we also had some other meetings that were requested. So we've done a lot of outreach and meeting on this project.
Thank you. That's my questions, Councilor. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Quinn?
Yes, this is a question for Mr. Gambrell. Over the past couple of years, we've talked about character code. Where are we at with that currently?
We have a draft that we're working through. You know, we're working with staff to kind of finalize that draft. So I would imagine in the near future there'll be some more on that.
Okay, but that's not in effect currently.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Clark.
This question is for the applicant. I see it's on the map, but it's so small I can't read it. So do you know how much leasable retail space will be in the building outside of the management offices?
Yeah, so I would say less than 10,000 square feet, so it's a small amount.
Okay,
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, when this was originally proposed to the 5 Points South neighborhood, there was to be no retail, and then later on they changed a little tiny bit in case someone wanted to come, but otherwise it would be office space for the leasing agent and whatever. So we did not get answers regarding stormwater, and we did not get answers regarding traffic. And so does the council wish to wait until we get those answers or approve this without any answers? That would be the pleasure of the council.
Go ahead.
Can someone come and speak? Because I do think the stormwater issues are pretty severe in this area. And
Well, they are, because the people downhill are underwater. That is a problem.
Can I get the specific question again that was asked regarding stormwater so they can be prepared?
Okay, so they state a number of rules that the development would have to comply with. I just wanted to know how we enforce it. Like, do we actually monitor pre and post, or is the onus on them to demonstrate?
And this is a question for this particular project, or you just need this in general to understand stormwater?
Well, in this instance, it's for this project.
Because I was just wondering what
it would inform me for future, because I just don't understand how we regulate it. You know, we have rules. We got a lot of rules.
Got the strictest stormwater.
But the enforcement of the rules is what I'm curious about.
I can speak just from an applicant standpoint, and have done some of these before. The stormwater ordinance requires certain things, and so if we didn't have the situation we have now, which is we have covered parking, so we don't have to do the extra step that I'm going to tell you about. It would be different, right? So the extra step is if we didn't have covered parking, and the idea is that you have these impervious surfaces, where does the water go, right? So you have to design a system for that water to drain out. What we've had to do on a couple of projects is, and this is laid out in the stormwater ordinance, have a stormwater maintenance restrictive covenant. So that's the enforcement mechanism through the restrictive covenant, and it requires the applicant to yearly certify as to the status of the system. So we just went through actually the last time I was here, the rezoning there, we had to implement one of those stormwater restrictive covenants, and it's every year they go and they pay a fee to their engineer to review it, inspect it, and that's kind of an obligation that they have on an ongoing basis. For this one, it's really part of the building systems that is, because we don't have the surface spacing. So the building is going to catch the water. I'm oversimplifying, right? Because I'm not an engineer. But the building's going to catch the water, and that water will then be dispersed into the system. So it's really a building maintenance issue, and we have to, in order to get the permits, we have to show compliance with the stormwater ordinance. There's that whole review process. The city engineer is going to review it. So that's really operationally how it's going to happen for this project. If we didn't have the covered parking, then it would have to be that restricted covenant.
In layman's terms, for me, the structured parking will have a gutter system that will catch and channel the water into the sewer system. Same thing for the buildings.
Correct. Yeah.
So it might actually improve on what's there now,
I think
to some degree.
That's the design plan. And again, I'm not an engineer, but that's having looked at this before.
That's how I'm interpreting it.
That's how we've done it before.
Okay, so do we have somebody from Stormwater who's arrived to answer questions?
Madam President? Yes.
Chief.
Yes, we have Ms. Katrina Thomas, Director of Planning, Engineering, and Permits, and we also have James Fowler from our BDOT department as well to speak to any transportation questions.
Thomas, good morning.
Good morning, Council. Katrina Thomas. I serve as Director of Planning, Engineering, and Permits. We now have a Chief Civil Engineer in place, which we are really excited about. But Mr. Manor talked about the calculations that are submitted with the application. So it looks at rainfall totals. So all of those calculations that the applicant submits goes into a model. And our civil engineer staff calculate that to make sure that what they submit complies, to make sure the pre and post runoff is in place. So we do have those controls in place to make sure that they are that they are abiding by the ordinance and the rules and regulations that are in the ordinance. But it's all really scientific. There are calculations that are used to make sure that what they submit is correct. And so we do have a chief civil engineer and an entire stormwater team that will look at that and also conduct the inspections to make sure that what the calculations in the model looked at is actually being implemented out on the field and the site as they're under construction and post-construction.
My one question, since we got an expert up here, is has FEMA updated what amount of rainfall is 100-year? Because it seems like those extraordinary events happen more frequently now. So has the model been updated with, for more recent weather patterns?
It has not been, to my knowledge, but we do have the most recent model that comes from FEMA and ADECA.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else with questions about stormwater?
Yes.
Dr. O'Quinn?
So is there any form of stormwater detention in the project?
I don't think for this project there's stormwater detention, but I'll send a text to the engineer and just kind of confirm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, and I do have one question, Ms. Thomas, if you will not escape for this moment. Regarding stormwater, the fact that we don't have anything that's updated, and we know that climate change is having a big impact because the city is having a big impact. We've got flooding all over the place. Do we know that our storm sewer system is capable of accommodating this development and other developments? I mean, do we actually have any idea what we have under the ground to accommodate the amount of water that will be flowing from this project and any other project that is new?
Yes, absolutely. So that's why we have a team of staff to look at each individual development to make sure that there is no impact that we'll eventually see. So that's why those controls are in place. So yes, we can assure you that development can continue to take place, and that's why we have the model in place to ensure that there's no additional runoff. Some of what we're seeing is just we're experiencing it nationwide with just the amount of rainfall, and so there are several other mitigation factors that will have to be put in place to curb that and to mitigate that. But this one development, from our look at it, will not have a significant impact on runoff at this location.
Because I know that we, at least some of us, receive letters from people at the foot of the hill whose buildings are flooding. And that's the reason for my question. You know, is there any possibility that this development is going to make that flooding in those properties worse?
We're not seeing what this will make that worse.
Well, good. I'm relieved to hear that. Thank you. Now, we also had traffic engineering question for traffic engineering. Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
Hi, I'm James Fowler. I serve as the director of the Birmingham Department of Transportation. And if you could repeat the question specifically about traffic.
Yeah, so my comment was, that this is a major corridor for people who are exiting downtown and entering the 280 expressway. Of course, those persons, make a choice to reside outside the city of Birmingham and make that part of their commute. So, if they make that choice, then they, of course, have to bear the consequences. The concern, though, is that have we, evaluated what the impacts are going to be on that corridor in terms of, traffic counts or any other impacts that might be concerned about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously 22nd Street is an important corridor for people that are leaving the city by car. Because the proposed development does not change the configuration of those roadways at all, it should have no negative impact on the surrounding traffic. If we look at just the transportation impacts as a whole, I think the development has a positive impact on the area for a few reasons. One, it improves the quality of the sidewalks and the landscaping on all sides of the development, makes it nicer. But two, and perhaps most importantly, it takes what is a very auto-oriented use with a lot of surface parking, and it adds a lot of walkable density and kind of changes the scale and the feel of that site. And so I think that density is going to be important, and that better walkability is going to be important as we try to bolster ridership on public transportation and encourage walking to other destinations. So I think it's ultimately good from a transportation perspective on the network.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I am relieved that there is additional parking, because that is an exceedingly congested area and you can never find a place to park. So thank you for that to your developer client. Madam President, I think that we are ready to vote.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Minor. Thank you, Mr. Gambriel. Mr. Clerk, we're ready for the vote. My vote is yes. My iPad isn't working. Thank you.
All right, that vote should be up.
All right. Thank you very much. Item number 1 passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam President, if I might remind developers that they need to bring sufficient materials with them to make a presentation to the council, since we're the ones that actually approve the projects, and the fact that they've shown them to 5 other groups doesn't mean much to us. So we really need for the staff to remind the developers that they need to bring their materials with them, so that if any members of the public come and want to see what we're looking at, they can actually see something. It's just a little reminder.
Thank you, Mrs. Abbott.
Thank you.
Next item.
All right, item 2, An ordinance to further amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham, case number ZAC 2022-17, to change zone district boundaries from R3 single family district to QI1 qualified light industrial district 5 by Shannon S. Riley of Ampar, applicant representing the owner Gateway for property located at 5201 Messer Airport Highway and situated in the northwest quarter of section 21 Township 17 South Range 2 West, and hearing of office support. Motion, please.
Second. All right, I'll turn this item over again to Councilor Abbott, Chair of Planning and Zoning Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Gambrell. Would you read our case for us, please?
Yes, ma'am. Tim Gambrell, I serve as Chief Planner for the City of Birmingham, and this is case ZAC 2022-17 within the Woodlawn neighborhood. The proposed use is a corporate office space, warehouse, and parking for commercial vehicles. The applicant will be using the space as a corporate headquarters for Amabar, an environmental waste management company. There will be corporate office functions such as management, accounting, payroll, marketing, HR, legal, etc. There will be a warehouse for the storage of personal protective equipment. There will be an open multi-purpose space for usage of on-campus employees, including training room, meeting spaces. There will be a call center for receiving emergency hazmat calls from all English-speaking countries, serviced by Amabar, currently U.S., Canada, Ireland, and the U.K. They will be dispatching proper teams, assets closest to the need, and giving technical guidance to our crews in the field. The gym will be utilized for training and tutoring. The subject property sits on 10.2 acres of land currently zoned R3 single family district. Adjacent parcels to the north and west are zoned CB2, contingency general business district. To the south, east, and west, abutting parcels are zoned R3 single family district. Part of this property is located within a special flood hazard area. The long-range land use plan identifies the property as C2 General Commercial District and open space. This district is designed to allow for areas serving a citywide or regional trade area. The applicant is seeking I1 light manufacturing. The light manufacturing district is designed to allow for light manufacturing office uses, potentially in business park settings, typically near major transportation routes, including interstate, state highway, railroad spurs, and airport facilities. Uses in this district include warehouse distribution, urban agriculture, supporting uses such as minor retail service. No residential uses are allowed in this district. Several uses. Let's see, the office is a group. There's definitions here for office, warehouse, and fitness center and warehouse. In particular, the warehouse does have a condition that when it's adjacent to residential districts, it has to have a specific landscape buffer. This particular development parking requirement includes 106 spaces required for the site. This site plan shows 74 spaces, so they are short 32, and they understand that they will have to seek a parking modification from the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Prior to any permits being issued, the city's landscape architect would like to confirm the thickness, depth, and existing buffer, current species within the buffer to complement with the city's landscape ordinance requirements. The city's stormwater engineer has approved this project with all stormwater, floodplain, and erosion ordinances applying. Birmingham Department of Transportation did not have any comments to add. The Woodlawn Neighborhood Association met at a regular scheduled meeting on November 14, 2022 to review the proposed project and voted to unanimously approve the request. The Zoning Advisory Committee met at a regular scheduled meeting on December 6, 2022 to review the proposed project and voted to recommend the request to the Planning and Zoning Committee. That vote was 5 to recommend and 1 not, and there was actually 1 abstention. And they did offer a few on-site queue conditions. Planning and Zoning Committee met at a regular scheduled meeting December 14, 2020 and voted to recommend the zoning request to the full City Council with the following queue conditions. Those were the same as the Zoning Advisory Committee. And that concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. Gambrell. Is the applicant here or the applicant's representative? That's interesting. Well, Madam President, I move that we that we delay this case until we have an applicant present.
Second.
Can we just
table it?
Well, you table it to the end of the meeting. That's all tabling does, and we have no applicant.
Let me ask a question, if I may. Mr. Gambriel, do you know why that applicant may not be present? I know notification was given.
I do not know. I know we've been in contact with them this morning. I'm going to check with our zoning administrator and find out why there's nobody here, and I'll get back with you.
So the reason I'm suggesting that we table it is because if we delay it, then we have to go through the advertising period again for a public hearing, correct?
I believe you can continue it to a date certain. We could verify that, but I know in the past we've done that before. If you continue, this is a public hearing, you can continue the public hearing to a date certain, announce it today, and say we'll be back in 4 weeks, and I believe this public hearing could be reopened at that time.
Without re-advertising? Or
That's
that
correct.
is part of the...
That's right. Since today is a public hearing, you can continue that, I believe, to a date certain. We would just have to identify that date and notify the public of that.
Okay.
And if we delay, we just simply need the staff to tell us which date we don't already have
another
zoning,
case.
Because we have a policy of having only 2 zoning cases per meeting, so we wouldn't want to stack them up. But they may have had a flat tire or something, I don't know.
Correct. Let me check with the staff, see why they're not here, and then I'll get back with you, and we'll make sure that we've got a good date.
Okay, if you allow us, we'll just delay until we get this information.
Well, we can table it to the end of the meeting. Yeah.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Item number 2 is tabled. If we'll go on with the rest of the agenda.
Okay. Next, item 14. On page 5, an ordinance authorizing the mayor in accordance with the provisions of Act 1969-916 to enter into an interlocal cooperation agreement with the Birmingham Airport Authority for a term not to exceed 3 years for the management and staffing of the fire station located at the airport, as well as to provide the airport with aircraft rescue and firefighting services, equipment, and facilities together with the power to take all action necessary for the implementation of the agreement. The BAA will reimburse the city for fully burdened salary expenses of each BFRS ARFF firefighter assigned to the BHM airport during any pay period covered under the agreement. BAA will reimburse BFRS via the city of Birmingham for all overtime costs for duties performed at the airport and authorize the mayor to execute all documents necessary to accomplish the purpose of the agreement. This is an item of permanent operation and need UC to entertain it today. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
I move the item.
Second opposed.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
I said I was opposed.
Okay, I didn't
You
hear
said
that.
no?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Next item.
All right, so go to, let me write that down. Next is item 16 on page 6. A resolution approving authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Birmingham Board of Education to provide services and allow the board to coordinate with Princeton Elementary School to purchase an outdoor marquee sign and related equipment and supplies for an amount not to exceed $16,000. Said total funds will come from District 8 discretionary funds. Motion, please.
Move the item.
Second.
Item is before you.
Thank you. This is item number 16, which was an agreement with the Board of Education for discretionary funding for $16,000. And I believe Councilor Clark, you moved that item. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Just want to note that this is a part of an ongoing effort to work with the Princeton Elementary School and stabilize the area around the school. We're excited about an opportunity to engage the PTA. So they're raising money for this, and we're sort of matching what they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions regarding this item? All right, we're ready for the vote.
Councilman Clark. That vote should be.
All right. right, thank you. That vote passes. And thank you, Councilor Clark, for the work that you're doing to that area and for the students and families over there at Princeton. Thank you. Next item.
Item 17, a resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute a public transportation services agreement between the Birmingham-Jefferson County Transit Authority and the City of Birmingham, under which the BJCTA will provide public transportation services as part of a transit system to include fixed route and demand response services and bus rapid transit services within city limits for an amount not to exceed $11 million, which compensation is comprised of $10 million for fixed route and paratransit services and $1 million for BRT services. Motion, please.
To the item.
Second.
All right, thank you, councilors. This is a resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute a public transportation services agreement between the BJCTA and Councilor O'Quinn. I believe you asked for this to be pulled.
Yes, I just wanted to, the BJCTA leadership is here, Director Shaw and some of our board members. I just wanted to give the council an opportunity to ask any questions if they had.
Thank you. Councilors, this item is before us, and we acknowledge the presence of the executive staff and the director and board president, I believe, is out there. So thank you very much. Councilors, do you have any questions regarding this item? Councilor Williams?
Thank you, Madam President. So, Director Shaw and BJCTA team, I apologize, I was not able to attend Dr. O'Quinn's Transportation Committee, but he did forward me you guys' presentation, so a lot might have been lost in me reading it versus actually physically being there, so I apologize if these are things that were answered. But from the usage report that I saw, it had routes, and then it had overall stops on that specific route, and then it usually had around, I don't know, 8 or so of the top 10 stops on that route. So let's say if there were 60 stops on a route, then the top 8 were shown. Do you guys collect data on every single stop and timing for that data?
Okay, let me clarify your question. So you're asking for each stop. And first of all, good morning to the councilors.
Good morning.
And Mayor and Chief Sparks, always good to see you. So could you repeat that so I can make sure we're clear?
Before I repeat it, your your Facebook post of the young individual that wanted to be you was very inspiring, and congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
What I'm asking is do y'all have data on every single stop?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
And then do you have the actual timing? Like, for example, my curiosity was, like, let's say that there's a route ABC, whatever the route is.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be certain times of the day where the majority of ridership occurs on that route.
Right.
And so do y'all have the timing also?
We do.
With each stop? Okay.
We do. And I'm going to ask my senior planner to join me so that she can explain how the process works for each stop. Her name is Watanji Pete.
Good morning, Mayor and councils. Yes.
Come on, would you repeat your name again?
I'm sorry. My name is Watanji Pete Feeney. I'm the Senior Director of Planning for the BJCTA.
Thank you.
And to answer your question, Council Williams, yes, we do have stop data that is provided from our APC vendor, which is Avail Technology, so we can narrow down to each stop. We can look at time of day and provide all the data based on stop activities.
Okay, great. I'd love to see that. I don't know how we coordinate getting that, or if that's your committee or what. But
yes. So one of the things that, of course, is included in the agreement that we have before us is monthly reporting data. So what I forwarded to you is sort of representative of what we've gotten, in the past. I think there's a ongoing conversation about, giving more granularity to that data. But we as part of the contract compliance, BJCTA is required by the contract to submit a report to us on a monthly basis.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
That report to have more in depth.
Thank you. Councilor Tate?
Thank you, Madam President. I just have a comment for Director Shaw and Ms. Peak. I just want to congratulate you guys on what you're doing for Black History Month, wrapping the bus and showing the love for this, the victims that lost their kids to gun violence, because I lost a nephew to gun violence, but thank you for that ongoing effort and lifting that up. So when I see the bus, I'm definitely going to be throwing my hand up for loving Miss Cherie and What About Us, because it's very important that we continue to, uplift, people that have lost family members to gun violence because of just erupting all over the nation.
That's
so
right.
Once again, thank you for all of the good things that you guys are doing over there.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Councilor
ma'am.
Tate.
Madam President.
Yes. Sorry, Mrs. Abbott. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question is about the bus rapid transit. I was wondering if the ridership is up to expectations, or were there any expectations?
The ridership on the BRT is very good. And so we're averaging about, 6,000
We're averaging about 13,000.
13,000 a month.
Okay, well, that's good.
The ridership on the BRT is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Very good ridership.
Good, thank you. And also, one other question is, someone was asking me just last night about the qualifications for using paratransit, and I didn't really know for sure what they were. So what qualifications are there if a person wants to use paratransit?
There are FTA requirements for paratransit usage, and one of the qualifications, of course, you have to be challenged, physically challenged in some way, and so there is a lengthy process that you have to go through. Our compliance department, and my Keisha handles that for us, and so there's a whole list of items, but I can tell you the top one is that you have to be challenged in some way, physically challenged in some way, and then you have to come through an assessment program. And once we assess that you cannot use regular transit, then you can qualify for the paratransit service.
Oh, okay. So does it require like a doctor's
It
letter?
does. It requires a doctor's
certificate?
statement and a doctor's reasoning for using that paratransit service. And actually, we're going to be doing some additional assessments, because as you can imagine, our paratransit is growing very large, because if you bring in a doctor's statement, usually you can get on paratransit. But that means anybody can go get a doctor's statement from just about anywhere, and then we'll receive you. But now we think we need to go a step further, because we're finding that we may have some people on paratransit who don't necessarily need paratransit.
But basically, if you can't walk,
that
would be a good reason
Absolutely.
to use paratransit.
Absolutely, immediately.
Okay.
You qualify immediately.
And the compliance department at BJCTA, who did you say they talked to?
What's Markeisha's last name? Harvell. Markeisha Harvell. She's our compliance manager, and she handles all paratransit activity.
Good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Any other questions regarding this item? All right. Thank you, Director
Thank
Shaw.
you.
Ms.
Thank you so much.
Martinez. At this time, councilors then will entertain the vote. All right, thank you. Item 17 passes. Councilors, at this time, I would like to draw your attention back to item number 1 that we passed. We have found that we need to recall this item because we did not allow the public to have an opportunity to speak during the public hearing. We just got all going there. So if that is okay, we could do that.
Second.
I think I've done.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll go with it. Yes. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Councilor
so this is a continuation of item number 1, which was the rezoning request by Randall Minor of Maynard Cooper and Gale on behalf of the 22nd Street Partners, LLC. I neglected to ask if there were members of the public who wished to speak, primarily because I didn't see any of the people who were involved, but we have to do this right. So are there any members of the public who wish to make comments on this item? Seeing no one, Madam President, I think we can vote again.
Thank you very much. Now, councilors will entertain that vote again. Thank you. We need a motion now.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Item number 1 does pass, and now we've had the call for the public. Thank you very much. Next item, Mr. Clerk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Resolution authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement Birmingham and Birmingham Land. Not to exceed $50,000 of Birmingham Land. National Tourism Week.
Second.
Aye.
I move the item.
Second.
All right, thank you, councilors. What before us is a resolution authorizing the mayor to expense ARPA funding from Council District 5 between the City of Birmingham and Birmingham Landmark for the amount not to exceed $50,000. Councilor O'Quinn, this is your item. If you
So just for public information, Birmingham Landmarks is the organization that runs the Alabama and Lyric Theaters. And there is quite a bit of deferred maintenance at the Alabama Theater. So, this ARPA funding is intended to help assist in addressing some of those issues. So, in essence, this money will help to go to support Alabama Theater.
Thank you very much. Any questions regarding this item, Councilor? Councilor Pro Tem?
I just want to thank Councilor Quinn. I've enjoyed going there for the Nutcracker, which is really nice. If you guys get a chance, you should go. It's the international tour that's there. It's very beautiful. The movies, everything there is a really great revenue-generating organization and infrastructure. So I want to thank you for investing in that, Councilor Quinn.
Any other comments? All right, councilors, we're ready for the vote. All right, thank you, councilors. Item 18 passes, and again, thank you for submission of this item through ARPA dollars, and appreciate it. Thank you very much. Next item.
Move the item.
Aye. All right, thank you, councilors. This is another ARPA funding resolution authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver an agreement between the city and Children's Village for the amount of $35,000. That will be coming $15,000 from Council District 1, $10,000 from Council District 4, and $10,000 from Council District 7. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Quick question. I heard the word discretionary in District 7, so this is ARPA or discretionary?
It's ARPA.
Or are they the same? They're not the same.
Yeah, it's ARPA.
ARPA. Okay.
Thank you.
ARPA, yeah.
Any questions? I hear some grunts. Questions? Okay, thank you. All right, so it's $35,000 ARPA funding from those three districts, 1, 4, and 7, correct? Okay. Are we clear before we make the vote? Just want to be sure we have clarity. Thank you very much. All right, we're ready for the vote. All right, thank you very much. We're delighted to support Children's Village through this ARPA funding. Thank you all so much. Next item.
Job seekers and older adults living in underserved communities in the city. Offerings will restore comprehensive workshop. I think if you Wi-Fi access to that. Disproportionately impact.
Second.
Aye. Second.
All right, thanks, councilors. This is another ARPA allocated funding for Friends Foundation of the Birmingham Public Library, and this is coming from District 4. Councilor Moore.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Really just wanted to bring some attention to this. It was really an effort to just create more access to our residents, or more access for our residents to the services that the library provides. As you heard, it provides, Wi-Fi or access to Wi-Fi, laptops, and several other great opportunities for those who may not necessarily be able to get out. This is an opportunity for you to request a bookmobile to actually come to your neighborhood and meet you right where you are. And so glad to partner with the Birmingham Public Library on this, and thankful for their ingenuity and forward thinking, and the BJCTA as well for partnering with them and donating the bus to the library. So just want to bring some attention to it.
Thank you. Any comments, Councilor Clark?
I'm really excited about this and want to congratulate my colleague. I remember him talking about this, and he was so excited about, bringing the library to the people. And he obviously has done this. He's actually worked on one of these before and experienced taking the library to the people. So I know he's passionate about this. I wanted to just throw out that, there might be a way to partner with this initiative to activate some of our parks too, and create, some kind of activations in the park. So please give that some thought. JT or library staff. Anyway, they have existing partnerships, but I think this would be a great way to expand that. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Clark. Councilor Abbott.
Well, I just have to say that my husband in his youth drove a bookmobile. He was a bookmobile guy. And he said that was one of the best jobs he ever had in his life. He was probably 20-something. But bookmobile's been around for at least 50 years in order for him to have been driving for them. But I just remember him talking about that bookmobile all the time. So obviously, even for the people that work on a bookmobile, it's fun, much less the folks who need the services and can't get to a library. But he had a lot of fond memories. So you're You're going to help some young man or woman who drives that bus to have some fun.
Absolutely. I did want to just, speak to Councilor Clark's suggestion about partnership. I think this is a great opportunity one of the things that I've been talking to the library about is being able to bring a book to life, right? And so I think it's a great opportunity to, have the Birmingham Public Library, the Parks and Recs, as well as, other nonprofit organizations such as, Birmingham Children's Theater, to come together and to say, hey, this is the book that we want to bring to life, and we're going to meet at the park, and we're going to have someone not just read a book to you, but actually act this thing out and give motion to it. And I think that would really encourage more young people to want to read and to just create more excitement around literacy in general, which is something that we know that we all need to focus on because of the Alabama Literacy Act. And so just trying to find new, creative, and innovative ways to educate, but also create access. So thank you.
Yes, Madam Pro Tem?
I was just thinking, your hope, especially when you're on the council, you get reelected, that your new colleagues will bring new innovative ways to the city. And I think Councilor Moore is a prime example of that. Really reimagining the libraries, right? Because I know during the pandemic, people were like, oh, we should reimagine the libraries. The libraries are different in this city. And I really want to thank Councilor Moore for taking his committee and his passion for the kids and reading and really giving them that opportunity and using a creative way for your ARPA funding. So I want to say I'm really proud of you. Any support that you need, I got you. And I would love to stop by there, even though it's not in District 6. And I probably got to drive a little ways. I would love to come.
Citywide.
Right. Citywide. Oh, it's citywide.
Yeah, so it's not just designated for District 4. This is a citywide initiative. And again, I just want to make sure that I, shout out to the executive director of the Birmingham Public Library, as well as the previous and current board of the Birmingham Public Library, along with the BJCTA. This was a collective effort of everybody. Councilor O'Quinn as well, Councilor Woods. And so, this is not just, something that I'm pushing forward. This is a collective effort of many people that believe in this city and believe in this initiative.
Well, that's even better. Well, thank you. I think that's very important, especially with our different libraries having to close down and with the different renovations. I know we put money towards our libraries, so I want to say thank you then, personally.
Thank you very much. Echo that as well. And I guess the most exciting thing about this is that bookmobile will travel, so we can bring those books to neighborhoods, and looking forward how we'll coordinate that with the parks. I think that's also a good suggestion, Ms. Clark, as coordinating that and giving these opportunities for the bookmobile to be places where people will be. So thank you very much. All right, councilors, I think we're ready for the vote on this one. All right, thank you. This item passes, and thanks again for the great use of ARPA dollars. Thank you very much. Next item.
Just communications from my office on behalf of the City Attorney, receiving the judgment notice from the City Attorney relative to the final judgment rendered in favor of the plaintiff in Cynthia Thomas versus City of Birmingham, Circuit Court of Jefferson County, Alabama, CV 2019 904-511 in the amount of $85,971.24. And we have the item that was tabled.
That's correct. If we could bring back that item, that was item number two.
Motion to take from the table.
Is there a motion to pull that off the table?
I move to bring item number 2 off the table.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, item is back before you.
All right, thank you. There was some questions regarding this particular item, and Councilor Abbott, I'll turn it over to you so that Mr. Gambriel can bring us the information.
Mr. Gambriel, will you bring us the information, please?
What was the question?
The question was, where is our applicant?
Right, and so we've been trying to contact them, and they're not responding. So I think what advice of council is to go ahead and open the public hearing, see if there are any public comments, and then delay the item for 4 weeks to a date certain on February 28th.
February 28th.
Works for the council.
Okay. Well, that's what we'll do. So are there any members of the public who have come to speak to item 2 on our agenda, the rezoning of the former Gateway? I see no one. So my motion is to delay this item until February 28th.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, councilors? Yes, Councilor Moore.
Quick question. I just wanted to know, do you know when exactly this property was sold? Like the exact time that this property was sold?
I do not. No, I do not. From what I understood, the previous owner is still the owner, but I'd have to verify that. And the applicant here that was supposed to be here today has a contract with that owner.
Got it. Okay.
So the sale may be contingent on the zoning change.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for asking that question to clarify. Councilor Clark, did you have anything? Okay. All right, councilors, we have the vote before us to delay this item to February 28th, 2023. We're ready for the vote.
It's supposed to.
Councilman Moore. Councilman Moore.
Who are we waiting on?
Yes. All right. Vote should be up.
All right, thank you. We have voted to delay this item until February 28th. Thank you very much. Next item.
Should be speakers or old and new business.
Well, thank you. We'll go to our comments from our councilors. Councilors, if you're ready to give us any comments or information you'd like to share from your district, we'll start with Councilor Woods. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam President. Quickly, the Spring Lake Neighborhood Association will meet on Thursday, February 2nd, 6:30 p.m. at Huffman High School. They also have a Zoom option. The Echo Highlands Neighborhood Association will meet also on Thursday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. and they're still meeting via Zoom. If anybody wants to get involved and doesn't have the information, reach out to our office directly. We'd be happy to get you plugged in. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Tate.
Thank you, Madam President. Weekly and Wallam neighborhood will meet Monday, February the 7th at 6 p.m. in person at the Wallam Library located at 4300 7th Avenue North, Wallam. You can also join the meeting conference call by dialing 720-740-9863. The access code is 6589380. The next public safety meeting will be Tuesday, February the 14th. You can submit your agenda items to Brandon McCray no later than Thursday, February the 9th by 1 p.m. And Madam President, I just want to thank you and for your leadership in honoring the family of Tyree Nichols. I do have something I would like to read also. When Tyree Nichols called out for his mom, every single mother in the world felt that. Our hearts all broke at the same time. We all thought of our sons and daughters and the agony that the Nichols family must be going through, knowing that his life was stolen from him so close to home. In the recent days since the video was released, it's almost impossible to put into words what the world witnessed. Their actions were completely void of humanity. Their actions were the kind of violence that our communities have trusted the police to prevent. And yet, here we are again. Once again, our hearts are broken as we are reminded of how far we still have to go for justice and peace in America. To the family and friends of Mr. Nichols, Birmingham weeps for your loss, and we stand by your side in your fight for justice. As the first black female chair of public safety in Birmingham, Alabama, this senseless death has weighed very heavily on me. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Unfortunately, here in Birmingham, we are no strangers to oppression and police brutality that were broadcasted to the world in the 1960s. I thank all men and women from time who never lived to see a more just, equitable world. And in times like this, it makes you wonder how far have we really come. But as Dr. King reminds us, the arc of moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Together we are stronger, and together we can build the world we want for our children. Tyree Nichols' death will not be just another statistic. His name, along with those who had their lives stolen before him will be our rallying cry as we continue to dismantle these systems of oppression in our country. Say his name, remember his name, and how you felt when you saw his video. We will honor their memory by doing everything we can to build a system that finally fulfills the promise of liberty and justice for all people. This is my hope.
Thank you, Councilor Tate, and thank you for your comments. I think it's very important that we acknowledge tragic killings like that, even if it's in another city, especially with Tyree being so young, honestly. I talked about how we're the same age and how, I still have the opportunity to just live life. And I think we have to look at, helping our police and reimagining how we approach crime as well. So thank you for your leadership on that. Council Williams.
Thank you. Economic Development and Tourism Committee's work session will be a week from today, Tuesday, February the 7th at 11:30 a.m. In Conference Room D, or immediately following our council meeting. Please have submissions to India Bailey by Thursday, February the 2nd. And to my colleague's statement, I think there's a lot of value in one sentence that I just heard, and that's remembering his name and saying his name. Every time something tragic like this happens in America, from a historical point, from 100 years ago to today, each individual's name holds a certain amount of power, and it holds a story. It holds a story of injustice and something where someone was wronged in a way, and that name has such power. It will forever live on, and to help move us towards a more equitable America. And I think that's what by and large America wants to move towards, is a country where we are truly free and truly equitable to each other. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Councilor Williams. Councilor Clark. Are you ready?
Thank you. That's one way to make me pay attention. Thank you so much, Madam Pro Tem. There are no neighborhood meetings in District 8 this week. Last night I did have the pleasure of visiting the Birmingham Esonian Bible College as they kicked off the 56th annual A.L. Bratcher Lecture Series. The school is under the direction of Dr. Wilson Fallon, who is a former professor and great historian who's written a lot about the Baptist movement, especially the early Black Baptists who were sort of the community developers in Birmingham in the late 1800s and early 1900s. They're going to be having just a series of lectures and worship services over the next couple of days. So it seems pretty interesting. I might go back. Anyway, the next stop on our Be Litter Free campaign is in the College Hills neighborhood. Join us along with the Black Warrior Riverkeeper on Saturday, February 11th at 9:30 a.m. We're going to meet at Our Lady Queen of the Universe's basketball court with the cleanup kicking off at 10 a.m. You can sign up to volunteer via Hands on Birmingham or at the Black Warrior Riverkeeper website, or just show up. That's the main thing, just show up. Also, if you've resolved to move more in 2023, you're welcome to join me and the Freshwater Land Trust each Thursday at the Crossplex Starbucks. We meet about 5 minutes till 8 a.m. to do a little stretching before we start promptly at 8 with a 1.25-mile loop around the Crossplex. And it's not only a great way to get moving, but you also get to know your neighbors and learn about a new Rails to Trails project that is proposed for our area. We always have a good time, and all paces are welcome. Finally, the Birmingham Parks and Recreation Department is looking for lifeguards, and the success of our aquatics program depends on it. I'm tempted to say,
encourage young people, but I think about the people who ran that program for years. They were not that young. So all ages are welcome to apply. Applications opened on January 9th and will close on May 12th. If you have any questions, you may contact Terry Harris at 205-254-2189 for more information. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Clark. Councilor Moore.
Yes, thank you, Madam Pro Tem. This week we have 4 neighborhood association meetings that will all be on Mondays. We have Collegeville, Maple Grove, Brummett Heights, and Zion City. All will be at 6 p.m. So please visit the Birmingham City Council website, go to the District 4 page, and you will see all of those details concerning those meetings at the bottom. AARP will be providing free tax filing in February at the Woodlawn Library by appointment only. Please call 205-595-2001 to schedule your appointment. The Southern Museum of Flight is looking for volunteers to help them grow their community. They have teacher volunteer positions that are open where you will lead visitors through the museum and share the exciting history of various aircrafts. They are also looking for aircraft restoration volunteers, which means you will be working side by side with their highly talented aircraft builders, mechanics, and aviators. No matter your role, you will be helping the museum teach and inspire. Visit their website at southernmuseumofflight.org to learn more about the volunteer positions and to submit your volunteer application. On February 10th, Ursula Smith's Dance Company will be hosting a couples Valentine's dance class from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Let me see. As well as we'll be hosting the father-daughter dance on February the 11th from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Please visit ursulasmithcompany.com to learn more about these different opportunities. Keep getting tongue-tied over here. Let me see. Volunteer Lawyers Birmingham, which is a local nonprofit organization that offers free legal assistance to those who need it most. They will be hosting an expungement clinic on February the 24th. The time and location are disclosed once you pre-register. In order to pre-register, please call 205-250-5198. Just kind of want to talk a little bit about this because, there are several folks that have different things on their record that could actually be expunged, could actually be removed, and would eliminate barriers from them being able to get certain jobs and be able to have access to certain opportunities. And so if that is something that you are dealing with, something that you feel like you need help with, please reach out to Volunteer Lawyers. Again, that number is 205-250-5198. Also want to say, want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Ricky Smiley and his family who recently suffered a loss. And so just really want to, send our prayers to them during this time. And lastly, just want to say happy belated birthday to my good friend Uche, who celebrated her birthday this weekend. Didn't get a chance to make it, but still just wanted to show some love and give her a shout out. So that concludes District 4 announcements.
Thank you, Councilor Moore, and we will make sure to have Ricky Smiley's family in our prayers. It's hard to lose a son, so thank you. Councilor Abbott.
Thank you. The next Planning and Zoning Committee will meet on February the 8th at 3:30 p.m. The next Planning Commission meeting is tomorrow morning at 8:30 here in the council chambers. Tonight we have the Redmont Neighborhood Association meeting at 5 p.m. at the Botanical Gardens in person, but not up close, just in person. The next Monday, the Glen Iris Neighborhood Association will meet at 6:30 p.m. at St. Elias Maronite Catholic Church. I wanted to ask the administration, on Green Springs Highway, we have an inordinate amount of litter. and it is being caused by the homeless people who are living in the woods beside the Vulcan Trail and beside Green Springs Highway. And they are appropriating grocery baskets from the places that they frequent and taking them and leaving them beside the highway. It's quite lovely. But my question is there anything the city can do about this occurrence, since the land they are camping on is private property? Can the city pursue the property owners to do something about this? Because it looks horrendous. There must be at least 5 or 6 shopping carts there that beside the highway, and there's just trash and garbage everywhere because, you know, what comes in those grocery carts seems to end up beside the highway.
So, to your point, Madam President, to your point,
Chief.
Councilor Abbott, there's a couple of things. One, we typically have our team that really lean in on homelessness discuss these items with the businesses first, just to make sure that they understand that in some areas their negligence is creating this nuisance. And then we move to more enforcement accountability. So thank you for raising that. What we'll do is engage 2 groups, our team that engages around homelessness and our code enforcement team, to meet with them. And you say they're Publix shopping carts, right? Okay.
Well, they're from all businesses. They just seem to go to the business and appropriate the cart and walk off with it, drive it up the sidewalk that we so kindly provided,
Okay.
and then they leave them right beside the highway as they go on up into the woods to their encampment. And there's also an encampment which does not cause as much garbage down next to the interstate beside George Ward Park.
A couple of those encampments are being addressed as we speak. The other item that you've noted with regards to litter up and down that area, we'll make sure we do follow up on that as we address the encampment piece.
Yeah.
Thank you for the visibility.
Well, thank you, because it really makes Birmingham look bad. It's very sad. I mean, I'm sad for the people who are homeless, but I'm even sadder for the mess that they are creating. So thank you. Thank you, Madam President and Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Councilor Abbott. Councilor Quinn.
Thank you. Just want to say, in light of the induction ceremony that'll happen tonight for new neighborhood officers, congratulations. I know all of us really appreciate the volunteers, that serve in those capacities. Most of us have quite large territories to, attend to, and having an extended network of, neighborhood officers really expands our capacity to be present, in those communities and engage with residents. So please know that we appreciate you and look forward to working with you this coming next 2 years. That being said, not every neighborhood has elected representatives for the neighborhood association. So there are many vacancies. So if you're interested in serving in that capacity, please inquire with our community development department, specifically the Community Resource Services Division. It's not, particularly challenging. I mean, from our perspective, one of the most important things is that we cannot physically be present in every neighborhood. So, having contacts that live in those communities really helps us have visibility, on things that are going on, and helps us establish contact when situations arise that need to be addressed. So please don't hesitate to volunteer to serve in that capacity. That being said, Eastlake Neighborhood Association will meet Tuesday, February 7th at 6 p.m. at Household of Faith Church. Forest Park South Avondale Neighborhood Association will also meet February 7th at 6:30 p.m. at Avondale Library. Smithfield Neighborhood Association will meet Thursday, February 9th at 6 p.m. at Smithfield Court Community Center. The Transportation Committee will meet Monday, February 13th in the City Council chambers. Items can be submitted to the agenda by contacting Kimberly Phillips at kimberly.phillips@birminghamal.gov. And finally, I just want to mention that our PIO team has some video that can run after all of the comments have been made. But Councilor Williams and I had the opportunity to tour the new JBS crisis facility on Beacon Parkway, which is a mental health crisis center, new mental health crisis center that will be opening sometime in the next several weeks. We were able to talk to the staff there just about mental health services that are available in the state of Alabama. And it's, suffice it to say that there are not enough services to actually meet the need. So this is the opening of this crisis center is a big deal for our region. Certainly, it's going to be a huge assistance to our law enforcement officers who are often, on the front lines of addressing these situations. So, really, really happy to see that. And it's a, really nice facility. But most importantly, that, those services are going to be available to a lot more people that need them in that time of need. So that concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Quinn. As far as my announcements, the next Budget and Finance meeting is Monday, February 13th at 3:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Submissions are due Wednesday, February 8th by noon to laquita.wilson and ethan.harris at birminghamal.gov. The next PIC meeting is next Tuesday, February 7th at 2 p.m. here in the council chambers. Submissions are due tomorrow by noon to ethan.harris at birminghamal.gov. We don't have any neighborhood meetings this week nor next Monday. We had two very successful District 6 town halls yesterday and last Thursday. It was really great. We had department heads there. We had a full house. And so I want to thank the residents that came. And if you need any of the information that was provided, you can go to our website, www.d6bham.com, to get that information. We also have the Titusville Day survey that's out. So if you're a part of the Titusville Day, or you're part of the Titusville community or have a business there, make sure to text Titusville Day to 205-580-1306 so we can have your input before we start planning. And also we have a D6 resident survey trying to see what events you'd like to see moving forward and what events that you did like that you attended. So text D6 survey to 205-580-1306. And early happy Black History Month, which starts tomorrow. I think this is very important, even though Black History is every day, making sure that we honor those Black activists, those Black leaders that are living and that have passed that really helped to shape America today. Thank you. And Madam President, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. These are announcements for District 7. Again, I want to reiterate and join my councilors in already mentioning, as well as the mayor, the neighborhood officer installation ceremony that will be at 6 p.m. I want to thank Dr. O'Quinn for just reminding the public of how we ask residents to also step into these leadership roles, and it can really help you within your individual neighborhoods. We have about 4 or 5 neighborhoods within District 7 that do not have any representation. So it's very important for us to encourage you all to step up and contact the Community Resources Services Division. Again, it helps to increase visibility. And one thing that I know all of us are working for is more community or neighborhood engagement, and to support these neighborhood leaders that have stepped up and will be serving for the next 2 years. So if you're in one of those neighborhoods, we'd like for you to consider joining that. As far as neighborhood meetings, this week, Friday, February 3rd, we'll have the Jones Valley Neighborhood Association. They'll be meeting the Powderly Library. That's at 3301 Jefferson Avenue at 4 p.m. Then on Monday, we have the Gracilla Heights Neighborhood Association. They'll be meeting at the Mary Dorsey Center, and that's on Park Avenue at 3 p.m. And then the Powderly Neighborhood Association will meet in the Henry Crumpton Rec Room on Gloria Road at 4 p.m. Again, please dial 311 at 254-6312 to report a missed pickup, or the D7 hotline at 205-304-1797. You can also use these numbers to report illegal dumping. We feel as if we're seeing a lot of more illegal dumping as people are trying to manage and maneuver with, I don't know what is causing it, but we are really seeing a lot of illegal dumping in certain areas of the district. So we want to continue to do our efforts that we can. I know we've had a lot of things that we've been talking about doing as far as individual districts, but please be mindful of that. So if you want to report that, please use those numbers to report. Speaking of trash, the monthly cleanup for District 7, our next neighborhood cleanup day will be on Saturday, February 18th. We'll be meeting at the Apostolic Temple of Praise. That's at 825 Bessemer Superhighway. We'll start at 9 a.m. I want to thank the Empowered Citizens of Birmingham. This is a group that has been working with us to booster volunteers for this particular event. We had over 50, 60 volunteers for our event in January, and so we look for volunteers to help us with this particular event as well. I do want to thank the staff at the One Place Metro Alabama Family Justice Center. They allowed me to come and visit the center and have a look at the services they provide for not only victims of abuse, but families who are in need of these services. So we thank you for the work that you're doing over there. And those are all of my announcements. At this time, Mr. Clerk, we will entertain our speakers list. And Councilor Abbott, just give Councilor Abbott a chance. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I forgot one thing, and that is on the 17th of this month, we approved item 53, which was the certification of the results of the neighborhood elections. And my understanding is that there were errors in there, and we approved people that did not actually win. So when will that be coming back to the council?
Yeah, I need to follow up with Ms. Alice Williams on that, so we'll provide that update for you, Councilor Abbott and members of the council. Because tonight people will be sworn in that were not on our certified list. Yeah, we'll get that follow up ASAP.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Mrs. Abbott. Thank you. Councilor Tate.
President, one quick thing. I just want to say happy birthday to my granddaughter, Camille Gabrielle, who's turned 10 today.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Camille.
Happy birthday, Camille. That's a number 10. That's really sweet. Thank you. And thank you, Councilor Tate, for your diligence earlier. I wasn't able to attend everything, but I appreciate your diligence in keeping us aware and making us aware and focused on what we need to do in our community when it comes to crime and violence. Thank you. All right, this time, Mr. Clerk, if you want to entertain the speakers list.
I think it's Callie Gagner.
Good morning, ma'am. We appreciate you sticking around. If you would state your name.
I have a lot of good things going on in Birmingham.
Thank you. If you would state your name and address for us.
My name is Callie Willis Gaynor. I'm the writer of Silent Screen gospel stage play. Just my little history. I wrote Don't Count Me Out, Too Blessed to Be Stressed, Sugar Shack from the church house to the shop house and back, and I also got a children's novel called Grandma Community Center. Silent Scream is something that God gave me due to all the mental illness and people that suffer in silence. When he gave me this, he told me not to charge the people. I was able to do that in Montgomery with a 1,700 people turnout. Now, when you get 1,700 people, a majority of African Americans show up to a mental illness stage play, that's something. I went to Talladega. Talladega didn't have the funding. The only thing they gave me was the theater. So I asked my production company, will you guys go for half the price of what I paid you in Montgomery, which pretty much only paid my people because I got a 5-piece band, 9 of the best actors in the state of Alabama. It's also a musical, a whole production team, and we only charged $10. Talladega, 500 people filled up that theater. My plans is to come to Birmingham. With Silent Scream, it's going to deal with anxiety, depression, suicide, substance abuse. Also, when a mother loses a child, bullying, the whole 9 yards. And I'm asking the city council because the mayor's office did respond back and they gave me the Bartwell Theater, but they gave it 75%. But I still got to pay the people, and I think that's like $2,000. And then the light people, which would be about $4,000. If everybody put their coins together like they did in the old time days, we can bring this to Birmingham for free. Joshua Rogers, that won Sunday Best, he agreed to come to Birmingham for $2,500 because he suffered in silence. If you look at Twitch, who knew that Twitch was suffering in silence? Nobody knew this. We got to break that stigma and Silent Scream let the people know it's okay not to be okay. That new mental illness center that's coming to Birmingham, that's a good way for them to come out and be in the foyer. When I did the show at the Davis Theater, we had 5 to 6 different mental illness agencies in the foyer, and they actually gave the people the information that they needed. I went back to school because I suffered in silence for years. Nobody ever knew. I was half this side, looked good every day, put on that makeup, and went to work. But I was killing my children. I had to get me together. I had prayer, but then I had to go get that psychological treatment. And once I got that, I was able to get my 2 kids through Alabama State as a single mother. And last year, I walked across Talladega College stage getting my psychology degree. But all this wouldn't have happened if I never seek professional treatment. No, it's not going to be the answer for everybody. I know that. But it's going to open up the conversation like it did in Talladega. It was a 10-year-old girl there because everybody can see this play. And she went back after she saw that little girl on the stage because she didn't want to grow up to be an angry woman. But she went back that next day and she talked to her counselor and she told her counselor that she was being molested and what actually happened. It helped the husband at the Davis Theater that was getting ready to leave his wife because he couldn't deal with mental illness. But once he saw Silent Scream, he went and got professional help. And now he's there with his wife, helping his wife out. Now I know everybody may have stronger minds than others. And it may not affect you the way it affects other people. But I guarantee you, everybody that's sitting in a chair knows somebody that's suffering in silence or dealing with mental illness that's in your family. Just like you just spoke about your cousin that died. And that play is going to show you a lady that was angry. Everybody thought that she just was being this awful supervisor. But they didn't know she had lost her son. And once she lost her son, her husband walked out on her. So I'm asking you all, if you got a heart, please help me bring this show to Birmingham. If you can't do it, if all your money is spent, go to your district and let your district know that this free show is coming to Birmingham. Because God gave it to me, with or without the council support, it will be in Birmingham. Because that's just the way he made me. I have always did community service and serve my people. And it'll never stop. And once we leave Birmingham, we're going to continue to go because I just decided with Alabama Department of Mental Health. And so I got a Zoom with them at 12 o'clock. Because they're going to also help fund this show and fund it from city to city. So I thank God for that because when he told me free show, that's what he meant.
Thank you, Ms. Gaynor. We appreciate you for bringing that. Do you have a date that you're planning?
It's April the 1st at the Bothwell Auditorium.
April 1st.
It's going to be at 2 o'clock. And I do a 2 o'clock show because, like in Montgomery, people came on trailway buses, the whole 9 yards. And that actually gives people the opportunity to come out to a free show and then take their families out to eat, patronize the local business, and the money that they would have spent on a $40, $50 ticket, they actually getting to spend that at a restaurant. So it's just giving them that free day to enjoy. And like I said, this show can be seen from a 5-year-old all the way up to a 70-year-old.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this information to us. If you will allow me, I and I'm going to get you, Council. I see your assistant out there. Do you mind if he could get her information and just pass it to all of us? And so the young gentleman that's right outside the door will get your information.
Madam President,
Yes.
she actually left her card.
Did she? Oh, this is your card that's in front of us? Okay, thank you.
Madam President, and I promise you, I done worded all y'all chief of staff.
Okay.
And they actually got the
didn't realize
email
this
that I
was-
sent out, and I also sent out video so you all could be familiarized, because I actually have talked to everybody.
Thank you very
Chief of
much.
Staff.
We appreciate this information. Councilor Clark?
I just wanted to suggest that you meet that gentleman back there who works for Alabama Regional Medical Services, and they provide mental health services in the community, and that might be a good connection for you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, does that conclude our speakers list? All right, thank you. At this time, can we entertain a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Aye. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
This afternoon, we're at the new JBS Crisis Center. This is a facility that's going to be opening up sometime in the next few weeks. And this will serve as a facility for people who are in a substance abuse crisis or mental health crisis where they can either come voluntarily or law enforcement can come and admit them at this facility. Currently, those options that are available are our hospital emergency rooms and our jails, and neither one of those is the best options. Typically, a emergency room, those individuals are going to wait 8 to 10 hours to see a physician and receive care. At our jails, we're just really warehousing the individual, in a case of intoxication, long enough for them to sober up.
That's going to be a community changer. Not only is this going to help the people we're serving, it's going to help the community, because those law enforcement officers will be back doing what they're supposed to be doing rather than sitting in emergency departments. Or even taking a person to jail, which could take time to process a person. Emergency departments are very excited about this as well, because there's less pressure on their emergency departments. UAB emergency department, for example, is always full, always has a lot of activity. Not a good environment for someone in a crisis. They need a calm environment. They need immediate attention as well.
At this facility, they will actually have clinicians here that will be able to help them through their crisis, and if needed, they can be admitted and stay here up to 5 days. I think most of our constituency realizes that we don't have enough mental health care resources available especially to folks who are indigent, living on the street or don't have health insurance. So it's really a great option to see that this is something that's being made available. There's going to be about 150 people that work here. It'll be a 24/7 operation. They're partnering, with law enforcement to provide training to law enforcement as to, what situations might apply and how to get them here. Kudos to everyone who's been involved in getting this initiative off the ground.
And for more from the Birmingham City Council, follow along with us on Facebook, Twitter,